So the regulatory landscape is pretty complex whenever you're investigating financial crimes. And the reason it's complex is because you have multiple regulators in the same space, each of them with conflicting agendas and missions. So my advice is that when you're working on a case dealing with a lot of different regulators, you need to understand the mission for each of them because they have different reporting requirements, they have different disclosure requirements, and they have different ways of being assessed in their headquarters. So understanding that landscape can be very tricky. So for example, in a case where you have an institution, a financial institution, that is gotten hacked by cyber criminals, at that point, the financial institution may not understand that certain regulators have extremely strict disclosure requirements. But we've had cases where a hacker will ask for some ransom, and a financial institution, without understanding the consequences of not disclosing that information, will go ahead and pay the ransom. And not only will that disrupt an investigation on the criminal side, because the FBI and others will need to understand what happened, but the financial institution may unknowingly get himself in real hot trouble in a lot of complex situations with these regulators, with these requirements. That's why understanding the landscape is extremely important. Now, another difference that regulators pose in investigations is that their approach, although everyone's against money laundering, but their approach may be a little different than, for example, the SEC. The regulators will look very deeply into the financial institution's policies, processes, compliance programs. They're going to want to know, was it robust enough? Did you have enough resources? Did management was involved in the compliance programs against money laundering? And those issues get looked at very deeply from a process point of view from the regulator, while at the same time, a law enforcement official will be looking at similar issues, but also be looking at whether the facts will satisfy the elements of the statute that they're investigating and that they're looking at. So it's understanding that although everyone there wants the same thing, which is to prevent and root out money laundering, their approaches will be different, their rules and regulations will be different, and understanding how each of these entities work, that is the key to a successful investigation.